What is good, my people, my peeps? I am back. Hopefully, this will be more stable and won't be glitching so much. I do apologize for my live streams. You know, it's out of my hands. Half of it's due to the weather that we are experiencing here in Texas, and the other half is because, those knuckleheads that love to interfere in our day-to-day lives, known as the perps, the handlers, the gang stalkers, interfering with the live stream. So anyway, I said that I was going to come back and finish out, chosen ones, targeted individuals. It's difficult being an empath at times. Yeah, being an empath can be very, very difficult at times. And so, what I wanted to do is, I wanted to get on here and I wanted to just, tell you about my experience today when I went to, well, I was out of town doing what I do, my gig work and different things of that nature. And I was in a town where they were there's a building where they have the facility. I had called like a couple of weeks ago to get help with a light bill. Okay, so we're there. I'm back. I'm bringing you back. We're right here. Okay, so I'm just going to start. If you want to hear the beginning of this, go and check out my first live stream. Okay, it got interrupted, so I'm starting over. But I want to start where I have entered the building and I'm sitting down and I'm speaking to the woman behind the desk. Now, I had said in the first live stream, pay attention, not watch out for, but literally pay attention to the insects, the animals, the beasts of the fields, the flocks of the air. These animals, insects, they are communicating with us in days. So this is going to also aid you in your discernment. Okay, so I'm speaking to this lady, and there's a fly that's been messing with her, just hovering around. Okay, and if the behavior of flies, they mess with everybody. I mean, you can come in the building and they'll buzz over by you. But when I sat down, that fly never buzzed over by me. It stayed over this woman's head, right? And she's just trying to swat this fly. Now, mind you, this facility that I went to was associated with a church. And so all the people in there, and I have to say this again because I'm going to post the picture that I took. Y'all, the picture that they had in there, the stained glass mirror of a picture of Yahweh Shai. And I say Yahweh Shai because it was Yahweh Shai. It was a brown color brother. Now, anybody who has been walking in this realm, in this matrix for any time knows that in any churches that have been built, no copper color people have ever been on the stained glasses of these churches. They've always been Edomites or clear people, okay? Known as white folks, okay? So when I saw that, and then they made the beard kind of rough and rugged, and the hair was kind of still straight. I'm gonna give it a pass, or it looked like it could have been a hat. I'm gonna give it a pass on that. You know what I'm saying? But it was an Edomite. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. How you doing? Again, stalker Jamaican boy. How you doing? I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to stay cool. I hope you're cool wherever you're at. I don't know if you're in Jamaica or not. I don't know how the weather is doing down there, but it's heating up. So I want to get to this story. The lady has this fly. It's messing with her, but her spirit is bothered, and is bothered by my presence because I'm there. And I'm telling you, I am an atmosphere changer. I don't even have to say a word. I just step into the room, and folks, they irritated. They irritated. They probably scared I'm about to point out they demon right on the spot. You know what I'm saying? So just moved to South Carolina from Boston. That's what's up. That's what's up. So yeah, it's South Carolina hot though. That's the question. How's the weather? I'm really interested in how the weather is where different, chosen ones and targeted individuals are at. What are they experiencing? That's why I'm asking, not to be nosy. So anyway, this woman, I told her, I called in and they said I had to come in and get the application. And she immediately, before I could finish the sentence, said, "Oh, we don't have any funding." And then it's just like her spirit was getting more and more riled up. Guys, my eyes, it seemed like my eyes was getting like glossed over, like, oh, here we go. You know how when you're in a situation, like, here we go. Here we go. Let me put if you're an empath, you gotta know that you got to get ready to protect yourself. Here we go. Okay. So oh, it's hot. Okay. Yeah, it's so hot. So hot in South Carolina. Okay, yeah, it's gonna get even hotter. I'm driving from Arizona and I'm telling it's hell out there. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that before I get off the live too, about Arizona. I spoke on that yesterday a little bit. So I started glossing over because when people start, for me as an empath, when I see that spirit starting to get really disturbed, it's just like I have to just protect myself, because I know they want to go, they want to just come at you and latch onto you. Some of them do, right? So I'm looking at her, but as I said, my eyes is like the gloss coming over. I'm just gonna have to stare at you, and I got to peep everything. Now I got to stare deep into your eyes, because now I'm gonna start to look deeper into your eyes to see if they about to shape shift. And I know some of y'all be like, "What?" Yes, that's why I got to pay attention now to see what I'm working with in front of me. As she's getting more and more kind of not irate, but irritated, as she's getting more and more irritated, and I'm looking at her because I want to see. I mean, and it's quick, guys. If you haven't seen a shapeshifter, I know people laughing about them people unplaying, but they, like Broken Matrix said in one of his breakdowns, they might have been crisis actors, but I'm a witness to the fact that there are entities on this earth. Some of you guys know them as reptilians. I have seen all of the forms of the eyes, from all black to the reptilian eye, and I am 1,000% in my right mind. Okay, I'm just letting you know. You will start to see these things too. So that's why I wanted to pay close attention to what's going on, what's about to manifest here. Okay. Hello, Jeff. Oh, you are in Philly, and I'm dying out here with the heat. Well, I'm going to have a live stream dealing with survival, um, and not, affordable survival gear. And that's been my main focus, especially on this channel. But I focused on Dollar Tree stuff, and some of that just it won't cut it. But yeah, so hopefully, if you can make it through, I will get that live up and going for y'all shortly to assist you and to assist you guys into make this matrix, make this test that we are going through, make it work for you in your best interest. Okay, this is not the time to be prideful and not ask for help. Honey, I will dress up, I will dress casual, I was dressed casual today, but I will dress up and I will still keep your self dignity about you. Okay, that does not mean not be prideful and can't ask for help or seek help. And that's where my storyline is right now. And so I'm glad that you're tuning in, Jeff. So I was at this help center, basically. And so this woman, her spirit is getting riled up. And so I'm like, okay, you're going to get more riled up. I'm going to bring you down with my calmness of my spirit as I talk to you. But I'm still observing to see if anything pops off with her. And so as I'm talking to her more and more calm, I said, well, okay, well, can I have the paper, the hard copy of the application so that I can fill it out, and I'll bring it back whenever they have funding. I can call and just, I have it already filled out. No, just that, it'll just get all mixed. And right then and there, I discern lies coming from her lips, because I had already listened to the automated prompts that they have in their system to tell you, to walk you through on how you receive some of these assistance, some of these fundings, right? And so I already, the lies she was saying was already confirmed. Okay, no, you can go down and you can pick up these hard copy applications and fill them out and bring them back, because you have to have certain proofs that you need this assistance, right? And so I'm looking at her. I know these words that are coming out of her mouth are lies. And we all know, as chosen ones, as targeted individuals going through this program, that just because people go to church, just because they sit up there and say, holy, 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 just because they say, I read the Bible, I love the Bible, everything in the Bibles is real, don't mean they about that life. Okay? Okay. Okay. We understand each other? Okay. She wasn't about that life. She was about being, having that persona of that life, that holy, holy, holy. But quiet as it's kept, my father, who's coming to trample down the grapes in the vineyard, said, a lot of y'all, whoever's watching, tuning in now or later, who claim to be holy, 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 and thumb their nose up on people who are trying to live right, trying to do their best, trying to whatever, make it through this matrix. Y'all gonna be the main ones talking about, but did not feed the homeless, did not serve this, did not build a community, did not. Y'all gonna be the main ones. My father is gonna say to the lake of fire with you. Okay, I just had to say that real quick. So as I hear the lies that are spewing out of her mouth, and as this fly is still hovering around her, cue me in to know that there was a evil entity. Either she was oppressed by it outwardly, or possessed by it internally, and not fully possessed. And I've spoke on possession before. Children of the Most High, guess what? You can be have an entity enter into your body. Don't, and a lot of these holy Israelites or Christians, they love to say, oh, well, I can't be possessed. A evil entity can never enter into the body. Darkness can't dwell with light. Lies, lies, lies upon lies. Okay? Lies. Because they have discerned the Bible, or interpreted the Bible the way they wanted to, and it's lies. Because we know that the Most High God had Judas walk with him, and before he betrayed him, he was walking with Yahweh Shai, one of his boys. Okay, we know that Peter, Jesus' right hand man, told Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, "Oh no, Yahweh Shai, they're not gonna do nothing to you. This ain't gonna happen." And Yahweh Shai had to tell his boy, he had to discern Satan was in his homeboy. Satan, get thee behind me. Okay, get thee behind me. Stop talking. You're talking through the mouth of my homeboy. The light that's in my homeboy is there, but you have entered into the back door. One of them doors are crevice he done opened, but he probably don't know about. You done crept in, and now you speaking through my homeboy. Get thee behind me, Satan. So don't let these almighty righteous brothers, most of them that's preaching out here, tell you otherwise. Okay? So she had an entity, either that was oppressing her outwardly or oppressing her inwardly. So that's why I was picking up on the sadness, and also that's why I was picking up on some type of hatred, anger towards me. And I don't know this woman. I let her continue to tell me, just keep calling and calling and calling for this help for the light bill, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. I said, okay, well, that's fine. I'll do that. I ain't here to tussle with nobody. I'm just here to, peep the scene, see, okay, this is where I need to come, just in case I need to be down here. I know where it's at now. I'm getting ready to bounce. I said, okay. And so a gang stalker, I'm calling that, because every time we go somewhere, our perp ain't got just, first of all, sirs and ma'ams, and my chosen ones and target individuals, you already know I am in a private conversation. Although I am at a desk and I'm sitting down and I'm talking to the attendee, and there's seats along a row. We know who you are. Why the hell do you bring your rude behind and sit right at the first seat and lean into my conversation? You a stalker, you a hater, you a handler. Take your rude behind and sit 3 feet or 3 seats down. Okay? We know what you're doing. You're trying to ear hustle. You're trying to be all up in the light. Okay? Good gracious. That was just a side note. Scoot down a couple of seats. That's how we know who you are. Y'all pitiful with that. But if I put these hands on you, might fall out. Because I believe I'm soaking in all this doggone heat and light from the changes in the atmosphere. If I put my hands on that forehead, like they did back in the church, forehead, you might fall out. So I suggest you keep arms length away. Don't let me touch you, because you might fall out, because I be done shocked that demon up out of you. Okay? I be done called him out with the name of Yahweh Shah. Okay, so stay arm's distance away from a sister. Okay, that's another side note, just to let you know. So I knew this person that came in was a gang stalker, but I don't pay them no mind when I'm doing my business, when I'm minding my business. And so I see these little bags right here, cute little bags. You know what these little bags are, right? I just want to show y'all this before I get off of here. So I discerned her spirit. She was going through some things. So these cute little bags. And I said, oh yeah. And I seen when I called in, I'm telling this woman who's wrestling with this oppression of a spirit, two spirits. I said, yeah, y'all have a food pantry. Where is that? And I'm thinking, now mind you, I'm thinking food pantry maybe at a different building. And so she said, oh, yes, we do. Now, by the time I asked her about the food pantry and everything, right? I had talked to her, and her spirit, those spirits were bound, okay, by the words and my calmness and my directness to her, but still calm. Those spirits were bound. And so that allowed her to bring it down a whole lot of notches, okay, with her extra energy that was coming out that was not needed. And she was like, oh, yes, well, let me register you, right? And now she's talking fast. Now she's talking quick, right? And I'm like, register me for, she said, yeah, what's your name? No, she asked me what my phone number. Because remember I told y'all in the first live stream, I had called back during the COVID times, or it might have been the freeze of Texas, and got some assistance. So I was already in a system, right? By my phone number. So she said, what's your phone number? So I gave her my phone number. She said, oh, yes, let me register you for the food pantry. I said, oh, and then so she gets this bag right here. It's so cute. And she said, here, and I'm gonna take you over there. Guys, I'm telling you, these spirits be binding people. These spirits be oppressing people. And it's up to you as chosen ones and you as targeted individuals. If you know you have the light, honey, you wrestle them spirits so they won't wrestle you. But I'm telling you, when you come out of these interactions with these people, you're going to be a little drained as an empath. Okay, because the empath that you are, you're gonna see it, you're gonna feel it, it's gonna be all on you. Some of that essence of these spirits, I'm trying to tell you. So I didn't talk to her and bound them other spirits that was trying to have her just be just ugly, because they wanted to feed. Okay, what I tell you, this is not. Are you woke yet? I'm wondering if the people who watch this program, this platform, are y'all woke yet? And I'm not talking about no politic woke. I'm talking about, are you woke to this fakeness that's around you? Are you woke to know that there's entities about that you cannot see that are wrestling with people? Are you woke? I hope you are. Pay attention, holla back. So I talked to her. I bound these spirits that's on her. She's now I'm hearing her come through. And so she hands me this bag and she said, let me take you back here. And so the gang stalker, he just sitting there. Okay. And I look at him. You know, them gang stalkers can't look me in the eye for nothing. For nothing. Them mugs looks down immediately. They look down and away. Down and away. Or they might have them shades on. Maybe they had them shades with the mirrors right here, so you really can't see. I think that's another dress code. I'm gonna do a video about that. The shades with the mirrors, not these shades. Like you can see my eyes through these shades, or any shades I wear, you can basically still see my eyes through them. But them gang stalkers, I noticed they wear them shades with the mirror in them. We're gonna talk about that in another broadcast. But because they know they don't. Because if I see them doggone demons, I ain't afraid. Oh Lord! Well, at first I was afraid when I first saw it. Because anybody who sees those slits in those black eyes, it's gonna shake you for a minute. It's gonna shake you, yeah. But baby, not no more. So we walked to the back, and this is just like I said. This is all Edomites here. All Edomites, formerly known, AKA, otherwise known as white folk. I'm in a facility branch off of their church. So she walks me back, and they have this cute little setup, y'all. It's really cute. It looked like a little grocery store, little setup. So they gave me a little bag, and they said, "Well, get a." So I go in, and I don't care if y'all trying to give me some. If you gonna give me some help or something, okay? Well, I wasn't planning on getting no food up in here, but y'all talking about get a basket and go grocery shopping, y'all. I go in there, and the lady who's supposed to have helped me, she had spilled water on her note pad. So she was trying to dry that off. And so the young lady who had this negative energy on her, she was like, okay, well, just get this basket and go in here and just look around and see what you want. And I was like, really? I said, oh, okay. But she had it was a cute nose ring, this Edomite woman. It was cute. And I happened to say, I was like, and it was cute. So I gave her a compliment on her nose ring. And that's how we know they you know how when they blush, they turn blush red. So she blushed, and it's just like you could see like she's coming through more and more from her bondage, okay, of these entities that has her housed and bond. They are binding her, okay. She is shackled with these negative energies, spirits. Okay, and so I go inside this is cute. It's not very big of a room. And it's like a little makeshift grocery store, if you will. So I go and there's some Spanish folks. Now, this is the first time I'm seeing some other folks of color. Okay, so it's a Spanish man and a Spanish female behind the counter. If you know me, if you even know me, if you think you know me through social media, a little bit about my personality, I have more of a bubbly, outgoing personality. So as soon as I seen the Spanish folks, hola, ¿cómo está? They way down the way. I walked through the door. I see some brown, they got a little copper color folks. Hola, ¿cómo está? And you guys, y'all should have seen the smile. The smile that came over both of they and the eyes lit up. Because I know they was like, wait, hold up. This Edomite territory. We got a chocolate drop in the building speaking Spanish. That's what's up. So, honey, I lit the whole room up. I showed it. I turned the whole room out. Everybody wanted to come help me. Do you hear me? So the little lady came that had the notebook. She came over and she said, oh, I'm sorry, but let me show you if you want this, that. I said, no, I don't. I ain't want to take nothing because I'm not in need like the people that would, really, really need that stuff. I just want to know if I need to get things like that, where it is. So just okay. Well, this ticket you can get this many items. Okay, well I'm not gonna get too much. Just let me see. Let me see what y'all working with. No, but I didn't get all that because people are truly in need, like Jeff living out of his car, and he's hot, with Jeff's comment here earlier. And so you don't want to take from if you're not at that level of need. Okay, but it's always wise to know where to go and who to go to if you do get to that level. Okay, and so as I'm going through this, there's a little older little Edomite, like a grandma Edomite, right? So she the one, she like my God, she done came in, the one that had the notebook that was messed up. And so she said, you don't want try get some of this, get some. I said, no, I just get a little bit. And I was like, okay. She said, I don't know why. And people open up to me. Now I ain't asked her about her personal life or anything. But she said something along the lines of, do I want some milk or cereal, something like that for children that I don't have no little ones. I told her how old I was. I said, no, baby, little ones. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm such and such. Y'all know I'm in my 50s. Okay. Fine as no, let me stop. And so she said, oh, really? And so we start having this rapport, okay? This little Edomite woman, little grandma woman. And she said, oh, okay. Well, um, I'm kind of ornery. And just start talking to me, right? I'm just kind of ornery. And I leaned over to her and I said, you know what? I kind of like a little bit of ornery. And she started laughing. And she said, yeah, it's good to have a little salt in your food. I said, that's right, because salt it gives it the flavor. So we're having a good rapport, a good conversation. So she takes me around. I see how they operate their facility, which is a good thing because it lifts my soul, because I have a plan that I want to do for my people, my peeps, and the community, but I won't put that out there. But I seen how they operate, and it just gave me ideas of how I could implement things into helping the community, right? And so I checked out, and then the lady who was at the desk was standing like outside in the hallway. And I was walking by, and I was like, "Okay, have a good day." She said, "Oh yes, you too." And then just the biggest smile on her, right? So I'm driving home, and that's when I turned on the live stream to talk to you all. And I tell you this, I'm out of the building, but yet and still, I have to decompress. I wasn't drained because she wasn't a energy vampire, the young lady I dealt with. Because I can tell immediately, if I would have came home dealing with, if she was an energy vampire or several, it would have been over for me today. I wouldn't be able to go back. I would rather just decompress, shower, bathe, whatever have you. But I would have to be alone, decompress, and because they cipher your energy, they cipher your spirit, um, because that's how they feed. Okay, but she wasn't an energy vampire, but nevertheless, she was oppressed by spirits of anger, and spirits of sadness. Because when I was driving and I was leaving the facility, I felt that leave off of me, like it was trying to attach onto me. Her spirit of sadness, spirit of anger could never. You hear me? The spirit of anger could never. It tries, because I can get angry, but the spirit of anger is something that can attach onto somebody, especially if they haven't dealt with internal anger. That is a true, and that's a strong spirit. But as I'm driving, I can feel this whatever her spirits would, they try to come around within my. I try not to, like I said, not to use no words that sound new agey, but in my aura, if you will. Okay. And as an empathic person, you truly can feel this type of spirit. The spirits when they on you, and when they, because they're not part of you, right? Unless you have open doors. unless you have things that you haven't dealt with as an empath, okay, or as a person. But I'm talking in regards to empathic people, empaths, okay, not empathic people, but empaths. Um, if you open doors, then these entities can then get into you, and it's harder to release that negative spirit. Okay, so I'm driving home, and then I start to tell you about that situation with that young lady. Out of all the people in there, um, sometimes I think we are in places, we are sent to places, because that was not part of my checklist of duties, places to do, actions that I wanted to even fulfill today. Do you understand? But I was there. And I was not there to pick up any grubs or food, or even really to check on getting assistance from the light bill for the light bill that's coming up shortly. Uh, but I was there. And sometimes the Most High God leads us to places, leads us and have interactions with people that you can feel the friction. You can feel that negative friction there. But sometimes you're in that particular time and place for that particular person. I'm not, and trust and believe, it wasn't that she was a you never heard me say that I felt that she was a gang stalker in the beginning of my life into right now. You never heard me say that I felt that she was a perp, a handler, or any of those things. I said that she was dealing with spirits. um, and so therefore, as an empath, I think we're led to help people and release some of their bondages off of them, okay, and and also with that, with with them interacting with you, they see a light within you and a path that they can now take when they are interacting with other people, because if it's a spirit that has not truly put them in shackles, then they can see the light of your behavior and start to move in that same light. Okay. So that was my interactions with as an empath with this young lady today. Now I want to talk about another interaction. um, Over this past weekend, I was invited to get to do a mani pedi, at a spa. Not a spa. Well, it was, mm, 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 it was. You might as well say it was a spa, but I don't think they had the full spa treatment as far as the going in and having laying down and getting the mud baths. There's many spas, but this was very expensive. And so I was invited to go and to get a mani pedi. Okay, so I got my feet and my nails done, and so as and I haven't done that in a long, 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 long time. Especially, I don't think I did it after 2016, 17. After I experienced those spirits, and I know that them to be real, in people, out of people, around people, I truly do not really like people to touch me. Okay, um, and that's why I cover me when I go out. With the prayer, um, back in the day, I used to use anointing oil, all of that. But the prayer I cover myself every day. Every day, it's no game. Um, because spirits can transfer through touch, right? And so I'm invited to this medi pedi, and so I'm getting my feet done, and I'm like, okay. So the lady who's doing my feet, um, I asked her to shape it a certain way, Now, a lot nowadays, we can't even, if you go and get your feet done, or if you go and get any of those services, a lot of those services are, it's a monopoly of Asians that really, have a monopoly on those services. And not unless you're in like LA or Beverly Hills, up in the hills, you might not see as many Asians with these nail salons. But this is not the corner nail salon, honey. This was very, very posh. But yet and still it was dominated by Asians. And I say that because nowadays we have Google translate, so you can't just say you don't understand. Like back in the day when I used to go a long time ago, we didn't know what they were saying. We felt that we was getting cussed out, talked about, all of that, right? um and so the lady's doing my feet, and told her, could you shape that just like this, like that, and like I ain't say it all like that, but basically I was like, could you shape that like this? And she was like, huh, no, I don't. And so I told the lady who was sitting next to her, one of her fellow coworkers. She translated it to the lady, okay? And then they start doing they start talking in their own. And I'm not hating on people who talk in their own language, okay? But the talk didn't happen until I asked, could she straighten, found my toenail the way I wanted it to be shaped. And so I was joking. I was like, well, okay, don't have me turn on Google Translate, because it's a new day around here. We don't have to sit here and not know what's being said, right? And so I knew the lady kind of understood English, or she probably fully understood English. And so she's doing my toes, but I'm watching her. And you might say, well, why are you watching her? Because I'm discerning her spirit, guys. When people are touching you, when you're interacting with people, and this is like an intimate uh, a form of touching, because they're touching your feet, they're touching your hands, uh, constantly when you're doing these type of services. So I'm looking at her, and I'm trying to see is something going to rise up from her. Now the spirit that I got from her, it was not a negative spirit, but it was a spirit of strength, assuredness of who she is, but very like she could, or she would want to take control of any interactions, her household, her, like a controlling spirit, but not in a not necessarily in a bad way. Because when you as a target individual, when you as a chosen one, when you walk, when you step out your doorway, you should walk in a confidence about yourself, because you should know, especially if you are a child of the Most High God, who you are. I don't care if you are down and out. I don't care if you're living in your car. I don't care if you're like me and find yourself going to get in a facility for assistance for a light bill. I don't care where you are. You are supposed to have this understanding that you are a child of the Most High God. And you are just here for this little bit, because this is a short time, not a long time. Okay? This is a short time, and you're just getting more and more experience to take onto you when we transfer to the next, you know, we're going to a different dimension, a higher dimension. Okay, so you're just taking on these experiences with you. And so she was in her presence as a person, in her, and so maybe controlling might be the wrong word, but she was in the presence of knowing who she was. Okay, she wasn't in a subservient type of there's nothing wrong with being subservient to somebody, but it's not the subservient like, oh, like a whimpering type, because her role is in a serving role, but she had a dignity about her. Okay, so I'm watching her and I'm seeing this, and I'm like, oh, okay. In my mind, I'm not talking out loud. As I look at her while she's doing my feet, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I see you, I see you. And so if anybody knows anything about, I forget what the massage is called. Your feet are like have push points to your body, like your lungs, your whatever. So they do these massages on your feet. So she's doing the massage on my feet, and it's as if she knew, because like right here, like I don't know, it's a vertebrae somewhere around here. You know, being that I've been walking on this earth for a mighty long time, one, my joints and my bones start acting up. Be blessed if you get to my age, okay? And so it was like when she did the massage, it was like she could feel like the tension or something in that area. And I noticed that when she did the massage, because I've studied stuff like that too. And so she's finished with my feet massage. I mean, even with the hot stones, okay, guys. And I was like, okay, that's okay. She's on point. So there's a woman. She's doing my nails, right? They're doing this at the same time. She's doing my nails, and I'm in one of those big luxury chairs, with the massage thing. And so the woman who's doing my nails, she says, "Oh, let me put the seat back, cause for your massage." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So she's doing the seat back, and I'm leaning back with the seat. I'm like, "Okay." I'm thinking the chair is about, those chairs that have the massage chairs that have the little things in them that do 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 do, and the vibration, right? So the chair leans back, and so the woman who was doing my feet, they're wrapped up in the cellophane, whatever is on my feet. So she's finishing up. She washes her hands. She gets this oils and these. I didn't know she had the hot rocks, but they have them in these baskets, real upscale. And I happen to have like a jacket with a tank top on underneath my jacket. So I'm sitting there, and so she comes on the side of me, on the side right here, and she says, "Okay, your jacket." And I was like, "Oh," and then so the other lady was like, "Oh, she's gonna do your massage." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know it was like the hand massage." The person I was with was like, "What's going?" It was kind of like, "What's going on over there?" Because the jacket came off, and the tank top, so that she can, do the neck massage. If you've been anywhere at an Asian barbershop or Asian salon, they do massages like that, right? Let me tell you something. The one put the pause on me. The tension, right? Because tension builds up right here for me, and probably how I sleep and what I'm sleeping on is it don't help, but the tension builds up right here. And so I thought that was funny afterwards, how I and how can I say this? Not wanting no one to touch me unsolicited. Okay? How that if you as an empath, and I'm talking about empaths in taking on and discerning spirits and things of that nature, how I stopped basically going to get manicures and pedicures back in 2016, 2017. I basically was doing them at home on my own. And I had did that before because I went to beauty school anyway, so I knew basically how to do it. But it's the difference when you have other people do them. And I had stopped allowing people to do that after I went through my spiritual awakening. And so I thought to myself, and after this interaction today, that the Most High God must be showing me another, or I'm going through another form of testing as well, to know that interacting with people and people that may are in services roles, as far as the massage, the pedicures, like she had to touch me to do a massage. Us as empathic people, and some who are maybe not empaths, but have discernment, can discern. This is a time where you're going to be able to be amongst people, to touch people, to know um, who is who is who, and not be afraid of somebody coming by or touching you or something along that. First of all, you should be saying your a prayer of covering first and foremost. I say this all the time, um, and then pray and build up your discernment about people. Okay, so so after she finished the massage, I could tell that she could tell just from her doing the massage. Now, I'm not saying that she's an empath or she has the because I don't know. I hadn't talked to her because she really didn't communicate in English well. Um, but by her knowing her skill sets, and she did the massage on my feet, she did the massage on my neck as well, and used the hot stones. Now, baby, when she put them hot stones on, that was a game changer. So, but it was it was a communication that I picked up at that particular time that was unspoken. Okay, and I knew that it wasn't that she had a evil entity, an evil spirit, or her spirit was evil. I knew that she was in walking and moving in the presence of who she was as a soul here in this realm. And I think we are definitely at this time in our lives, at this point with the shifts of these pole shifts and the end times, that you're not you're not in kindergarten anymore. You're not in middle school, high school. You have, matter of fact, you're not in college. You're in graduate school. And it is time for you to walk in your power, walk in the gifts that the Most High has given you, and not stray away or stay away from people like I was. Because I didn't want to even come into contact with people, because I know a lot of people do have negative entities, negative spirits attached to them. And then me cutting cords, because I'm a cord cutter, as far as cutting cords of soul ties, friendship, soul ties, interaction, soul ties. That's a lot of work to do as a person who is working on themselves, to be able to move through this realm with a heightened ability of discernment. So you don't want to be cutting soul ties and gaining soul ties at the same time. It defeats the purpose. But it also defeats the purpose to hide away or stay away from people because you're afraid or you're in fear that this person has an entity or a demonic spirit on them. But you might be, like I said earlier, you might be put into that facility, into that presence of the person, to show them your light and have them leave and walk or try to walk into your light, or be curious about why you have lifted the heaviness from them. Okay, and this is something totally different than a soul tie. I mean, a energy vampire. Okay, like the young lady earlier today. Like I said, I didn't say she was a gang stalker, a perp, or any of that, but she did have entities on her, or oppressing her, and I can tell my presence changed that by the end of our interactions today. Okay, and so we definitely going to be moving in and out of facilities and around people, and put on the whole armor, I say, because it's war. And I'm going to just say, warriors, come out and play. Come out and play. Because I have to tell myself that, warriors. That movie might be too old for you guys to even recognize. I understand. Come out to play. You got to come out and play. You got to get out here and test your swords, test your weapons out. Okay? You don't have to stay isolated and confined all the time. Get out here because we are going to have to move around. We're going to have to get active, maybe soon. Okay? So, I wanted to talk to you guys about chosen ones being empaths and getting out here and moving in your gift. And it's truly a gift. Okay, guys? And I'm out, and much, much love.